Well, howdy, 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 Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. It is, let me take a look, 7:05 a.m. Yes, I've become very late these past couple days. It is Monday, the 18th of September. It is finally, possibly cooled down and become September weather for real now. Past couple days, it has been like 80, and then the next day it's been 60, and now it's starting to get more 60 days than 80 days. It might finally be getting into September weather, autumn. Yeah, it only took a month and a half for something that should have happened a month and a half ago to happen. Global climate change for the win. Also, I have down here a little hamster that I'm going to move closer. He's drinking water. I'm irritating him now by grabbing him by his head. I have grabbed your head, little guy. I did more than that, though. I dragged him right out. It's Bad Ears McGee, otherwise known by his real name as Patches Jr. His mother was 1.5 pounds of hamster. She was big. She was a monster. She was savage. I loved her a lot. She killed some of her babies, like biting their heads because I had touched them too young. So you got to be careful with hamsters, especially savage mothers. But he is her last little baby. He isn't a baby anymore. He's not had any kids. He's not going to. Life is life, you know. Poor Patches. Her bloodline dies out here. Such is life. I mean, they're just rodents. They're fine. I love them. But, you know, it's not the end of the world if they don't reproduce, though I love babies. All babies. My wife was never a baby person. I always was. I always had to stop and look at babies. Here we go, little guy. You go back in your cage. There we go. He's going to drink now. Well, he might. He was drinking. Now he's just sort of... Oh, he's gone back to drinking. How nice. Thumbs up. I just gave him a momentary confusion and distraction. Some people in comments have been asking me to talk more about my youth. I've just got a couple problems with that because my youth wasn't that very good. I don't remember a whole lot of it. I've blocked a ton because I had massive amounts of physical abuse, massive amounts of sexual abuse. I have blocked a lot of my youth. I don't remember a huge portion of it. I do remember things like one day, you know, when my grandfather, after I'd been, you know, beaten a lot with his belt, because he beat me with his belt, that he didn't know how to communicate with children. And he especially didn't know how to communicate with young boys. And, you know, he'd had 3 children, 3 girls, 1 twins, my mother and her sister, and then their other sister. He didn't know how to deal with me. And so he communicated with me largely by using his belt. And so I don't remember a whole lot about him or stuff that happened when I was that young. I mean, I remember my grandmother dying. She unfortunately killed herself. She must have been about my age when she died, but it was her fault. She accidentally committed suicide. She had gone walking. She was heavy. You know, not intensely obese, but she was heavy, and her activity level wasn't huge. They had a garden and did stuff like that, but by the time this happened, she didn't really do gardening anymore, and so she fell and had broken her leg. She had been told it is very important, and it is important. We didn't know as much back then as we know now, but they knew back then and told her, you need to keep moving. Don't just sit. You're going to get blood clots if you just sit. You have to keep moving. She didn't keep moving. She didn't like to go off and do a whole bunch of stuff, and especially with her leg broken, she didn't like to get up and do stuff. And my grandfather, who was the, not a volunteer firefighter, he was just an actual firefighter. He was a fireman. But he kept her alive with CPR one night when the blood clot from her broken leg broke loose and lodged in her heart. And he kept her, just starting her up again, while the ambulance and the fire trucks were on their way, but it didn't matter. I am very sorry. I cannot imagine that. I mean, it was bad enough when my wife died on hospice in my living room. I spent 10 of our 12-year marriage watching her die slowly in front of my eyes until she died on hospice in my living room. I mean, that was bad enough. I cannot imagine having to do CPR on your wife and then still watch her die. So that ended poorly. It was a shocker for everybody. My grandfather didn't really last too much longer after that, maybe 5, 6, 7 years. And then he died of cancer in a nursing home. So I think he was ready to go by that point. So there's that. Man. I'm sorry. My youth isn't exactly inspirational. Very little of my life is inspirational. It's usually just tears, pain, and disappointment. But such is life. I mean, life is life. So I remember the one time before he died, you know, it was like I was just, 6 years old? And like I said, I'd just gotten over one of his previous beatings. And I said in passing, because, hey, you know, when you're a child, when you feel something, I remember this one because I don't feel very proud of it. I said to him, I hate you, because I was tired of being beaten with his belt. So, of course, he chased me around the front lawn, not lard, my sincere apologies. He chased me down on the front yard until finally, you know, I didn't know where to run. I was 6 years old. Whereupon in the front yard, he proceeded to beat me with his belt. So, not a lot of really good memories of my youth. Mostly it's just memories of being beaten with his belt, because he beat me a lot. And then I don't have a lot of memories of the sexual abuse. I can remember some of what happened with the neighborhood kids. I remember very little of what happened to me from my parental figure, my mother's second husband, who did the lion's share of sexual abuse, so thumbs up on that. Yeah, I don't really have a wonderful or inspirational childhood or even younger life. By the time I got into high school and all that, you know, I was already pretty heavy duty in my alcoholism. I'd started drinking when I was, the youngest I can figure is about 12, possibly 10, possibly even younger. My parents had a liquor cabinet and they asked me to make drinks for them, and I did. And with what I was going through with the beatings, the sexual abuse and all that, I took use of alcohol, drank out of my parents' liquor cabinet to dull what I was feeling. So by the time I was in high school, yeah, I was a pretty solid alcoholic. And then by the time after that, I got out, went into the Air Force. While I was going into the Air Force, they increased the drinking age in the United States from 18 to 21. Which for people like me, we were 19. But the military, if you were in, they grandfathered you in. How about that? I had a grandfather clause because I was in the military, but when they changed the rules of drinking, we still got to drink as if we were 21, even though the rules had changed. Because of that, anyone who came in afterward had to wait until they were 21 because we were there. We got grandfathered in. I drank a lot of beer while I was in, not basic, you can't drink in basic, but when I went to tech school and they had the Airmen's Club open, I used to go to the Airmen's Club, order a pitcher of beer, and then just sit there in the Airmen's Club and read a book while drinking my pitcher of beer. So that's what I did in the beginning of my Air Force time as an alcoholic. After that, I quickly just started drinking in my room by myself. Well, I wasn't by myself. When you're in the military, you're not really by yourself. You have housemates, because if you stay in the dorms, they pack 3 or 4 people in, depending on the size. When I was over in Germany, they were like 1940s buildings that some of the rooms were pretty big. They'd give 3 or 4 people that room, and you dormed up in that room with your 3 and 4 roommates. You didn't drink alone. You drank with your roommate. Well, the last year that I was in Florida. Homestead doesn't exist anymore. It was wiped out by Hurricane Andrew. Hurricane Andrew came through, took it down to the foundations. But while I was there, my last year, actually it was just 6 months, but the guy that was my housemate, my roommate, he was just a screw up on all levels. And my last couple months of time, he wasn't even there because he had screwed up enough. He was put in, well, it's not jail, but you get effective jail time if you screw up enough. And it's military jail time. And he was in military jail, and so I didn't have a housemate for a long time. Thank goodness, in a way, because what I just did was I'd play my Commodore 64 games and drink all day. So thumbs up on that. Played Bard's Tale all the way through, the first Bard's Tale on my Commodore 64. It was actually an altered one. When I was over in Germany, there were some people that would do works on like your Commodore 64. And so the one I had a switch where you'd flick it over and then it was a big change. It would give you the full 64K that you could work with. It had an altered operating system. It was really cool. Problem was, when I came home from Germany, because it was in the cargo part of the aircraft, there's not a whole lot of shielding up above. And you can damage electronic equipment by taking it too high up in the atmosphere, because cosmic rays and other radiation can damage electronic equipment. And it damaged my equipment. My Commodore 64 did not work properly after taking the airplane ride across the, what was it, the Atlantic Ocean? Whichever ocean is over on the east coast of the U.S. That's the Atlantic, isn't it? Yeah, I'm on the Pacific Rim. So thumbs up. And not really a whole lot actually going on in my life. Yesterday I spent all day falling asleep in here again. Went to bed at 10:30. When I woke up, my hands numb, not working. And it wasn't even a weird position. It was just setting the meaty part of my arm down on the arm of the chair and then just falling asleep like that. And the pressure through here pushed on the nerves that my hands didn't work after I woke up. It took a while for them to start working and feeling again. That's not good. I've already abraded these nerves here so that this hand was paralyzed entirely. It still doesn't feel right. I gotta be super careful. Thumbs up on that. Well, 13 minutes and change. I have opened up, before I even started, 24 hours worth of comments on my channel. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. Now it's 20 to 25 because I get lost while counting. I have watched myself go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. So it's a range. If you want a shout out, just ask for it. I have a shout out here, and I will give you a shout out. All you have to do is ask, and all I have to do is catch it. If I mispronounce your name, no disrespect is intended. I'm terrible at names. I'm an American. We're terrible at most things, especially these days. Take a look at our president. Don't take a look at our president, please. Don't. But with all this going on, no disrespect is intended. My sincere apologies if and when I mispronounce your name. So, I need to call up my text editor thingy because that's where I actually have the shoutouts list, which is just Rage Gaming, who has said that they're starting up a channel. Been putting a lot of work into that. If you could go check out Rage Gaming, I hopefully have the link down below. Hopefully, no guarantees, my bloody brain, but hopefully I do. So Rage Gaming, thank you very, very much. And then there is, oh, I'm so sorry, Huismamsje? Huismamsje. Thank you so very, very much. Carly J. Metcalf, thank you so very much. Greatly appreciated. Mateus Balcher, thank you very, very much. And Simply Sketchy, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Joey Red Devils. Ooh, heck of a name. Thank you very, very much. Samantha Phillips, thank you. Greatly appreciated. And there is EDJR0. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Super Honey, Honay, son of a gun. Thank you very, very much. David Werner. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. SP_93. Thank you very, very much. And Guranagan. Thank you. Always good to see your name in the comments here. Shadow of Darkness. Heck of a name. Thank you very, very much. TJMTX. The Gunzerker. Thank you very, very much. Karel Papels. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Dean Wilkins. Thank you very, very much. And of course, Conspo Lopez. Once again, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. And Sabrina. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Emily Flores. Thank you so very, very much. Luca Thiessen, I hope. Thank you very, very much. Scott6725. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Dylan. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Powell Sogard? P-A-W-E-L. Pavel Sjogard. S-J-O with the above them. G with another thing above. A with another thing above it. R-D. Thank you very, very much. And God of Death 666. Greatly appreciated. And last but not least, that guy over there. Heck of a name. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated all of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. It's a very, very good thing. It doesn't matter whether it was a good comment, a bad comment, or an indifferent comment. The fact was that it was a comment. You get me out of my head, dealing with people in the real world, and that's a good thing. It is not a good mental landscape behind these eyes and between these ears. I am clinically depressed. I have bipolar disorder. My wife of 12 years died after watching her die for 10 years in front of my eyes. It's not a good landscape behind these eyes. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. 17 minutes and change, so I'm going to say if you can check out my links down below, that would be awesome. I got like Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+, and my blog. Haha, I remembered them all. With fibromyalgia, that is a plus. Every day I remember anything at all. If you could check out those links, that would be awesome. My thanks to everybody who has donated to my GoFundMe campaign. My van died. I need to get my van fixed. Can you help me? Can you donate to my GoFundMe campaign? My van died. And my thanks to all of my Patreon.com patrons. You're beautiful, awesome people. Without you, I'd be homeless. So thank you all so very, very much. If you could toss me, well, first off, I gotta say, if you cannot or do not donate, I take all good wishes. Deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I would appreciate that. I do appreciate, I use the word appreciate too much. I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Thank you very much. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be cool, but I would understand if you don't want to. My personality has rubbed people wrong my entire life. Literally, I have gone hi with a response back of, oh really, to hell with you. So if you don't like my videos, I understand. If you don't want to subscribe to the channel, I understand. But if you are down with it, I'll do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time, which for me, maybe 20 years. Average lifespan of an American man is 74 years. I'm turning 55 this October. That's only 20 years from now. End of time ain't that far away. Maybe I'll be lucky. After all, my dad is, well, my stepdad is in his 80s. And my mother, though she's going to have cancer surgery to remove 2 of the 3 of her left lobes in her lung, she's still hanging in and should do fine. Her twin sister had the exact same surgery and is doing okay, so she should do okay. Am I freaked out about it? Badly. Do I show things on my face how I'm feeling inside? Very rarely. Though my face shows exactly what I'm feeling at any time. I'm just very, very good at bottling and compartmentalizing, which is very bad for you. Give you a heart attack. Thumbs up for that. I got 30 seconds left. I'm not going to stretch this out any more than 20 minutes. Any longer than 20 minutes is padding. Any shorter than 20 minutes, my brain doesn't get a chance to properly bubble sort. So 20 minutes is perfect for me. thank you so much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. Without you watching, without me being able to do this, without me being able to process, I am stuck. So you take care. Have a great day today. I've got a ration video and a game video coming up, so that is a very good thing. You take care, and I will see you on the flip side.